On WWE Saturday night's main event, Cody Rhodes took on Kevin Owens with that beautiful winged eagle belt. Could Cody overcome Kevin?
And we had multiple Continental Classic clashes on Collision. Could Mark Briscoe overcome Kyle Fletcher? And could the Beast Mortos overcome Okada?
And Rampage happened. All that and more coming up on the show. Hit it, Chandler.
Hey there, everybody. Daver here. Welcome to the show. And before we get started, don't you forget to elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a little comment. We want to know what you think. Welcome, Chad. Welcome, Chandler.
Hey, how we doing?
Good. Pretty action-packed weekend of wrestling, huh?
Yeah, Saturday night was fantastic, and Friday night was there too. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, they put Tony Storm on Rampage.
Yeah, this was my first ever Rampage I've ever watched. I watched it because Tony Storm's return match was on there, and all weekend I'm just asking myself, like, why did they put this match on Rampage? And the only thing I can think is like maybe Tony Storm wasn't available for later dates, but like, I don't know. Like, I hate to say it, this Tony Storm return, as much as I love it and as much as I'm excited about it, it's completely overshadowing this Thunder Rosa match.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't think anyone really cared about the Mariah May Thunder Rosa feud anyways, but she had a really fun match with Harley Cameron. My feed cut out, but I saw it on Twitter. There's a bit where Harley Cameron knew they were cutting to picture-in-picture, and she went, "We'll see who identity she's got next on picture-in-picture," or something like that to the camera. Like, she made fun of Tony Storm. And then the big part was Tony Storm hit the timeless pose for half a second before going to the rocker pose, and then won the match. And there was a really funny backstage segment also on Twitter where she's cutting this promo, and she's like, "Oh, I'm new here. I've never been here before. This is so exciting." And she's like, "I'm meeting all these new people." And then she looks over and she sees Mark Briscoe. She goes, "Hi, Mark Briscoe. Hi, I've never seen you before." And it's like 15 feet away, Mark Briscoe. And they cut to him. He's like Bigfoot. He's like, and then they just cut back to Tony Storm. It was so funny. Like, everyone go out and see it. And that was it for Rampage. I know Takeshita was there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not happy that Takeshita's stuck on Rampage, but whatever, man. It's cool. Did you see that deadlift, like, belly to belly he did on Mark Davis? Oh, yeah. Basically, like, he kind of got like stuck, or like it looked like he was gonna fall, and he just like slowly, like, I've never seen a deadlift belly to belly. And so yeah, Takeshita's still fantastic. I wish that the both of them were on Dynamite, but you know, whatever. At least they're on TV, and at least they're doing well.
Hey, they gained at least one viewer because it was on Rampage.
That's crazy. Like, instead of doing 10 viewers, it did 11 viewers, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, I wonder what their numbers are for Rampage, because, I mean, it caused me to watch it. It caused you, Chandler, to watch it. Like,
Wow.
we
Probably
can't
like
be the
12
only
then.
ones.
I didn't watch it live, though, because I don't have cable. I watched it after the fact, but I think, I mean, this is all according to, like, Wrestling Observer, but I think Rampage's, like, ratings are down. Like, I don't know about last week specifically, but at least with all the C2 matches, they're like, it's not helping at all. So I don't know. Maybe people know that the show's not going to be around, and no one really cares.
Yeah. Holiday stuff is starting to ramp up. People are going out and doing things, and yeah.
Yeah, it does come on 2 hours later than Dynamite too, which is not great.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I watched it. It was just all right. Nothing big. But man, this WWE Saturday night's main event, woo, dude, I felt like I was 4 years old again watching that crap.
They killed it. Such a good job with the presentation.
As someone who, I don't think I've seen any part of like that era of wrestling where like the 1980s, I loved how they nailed the look. I loved the simplicity of it. We were back to a clean ring, thank God. Oh my goodness, no ugly product placements in there. I loved the Wing Eagle, especially. I loved Jesse the Body Ventura. And then on top of that, I thought all 5 matches were really good. Like,
Yeah.
this might be crazy. I didn't see every pay-per-view this year, but I think this is like WWE's best event of the year.
Dude, it flew by too. It was like all of a sudden, like, holy crap, main event already? Like, is this only 1 hour? I had to like look at the clock.
hmm I absolutely loved this show, and like it's so weird. The further we get from Survivor Series, the more I dislike it, and the more it felt like they had to have a pay-per-view. But this felt like they wanted to do this, and they had so many
Yeah.
things planned for it. Like I loved it. I loved it so much. I can't wait for the next one. And I implore AEW, figure out a way to do something like this. You don't have to do the retro, but like get it like again, it was 2 hours, right? So AEW just get 2 hours worth of good matches, get it on a big show. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool.
I like the retro blue ref shirt,
Yeah.
uh, the red, white, and blue ropes, the freaking theme song, like even the graphics were like retro style. Like, oh, it was so good. Like it I don't love modern WWE. This is like when I liked the WWF, like before WCW got big. So like I love everything about it. Like
Yeah.
the whole presentation, like it just made me feel like a kid. And that's
Yeah. Yeah,
a
they
good thing
knocked it
in
out
my
of the
book.
park. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like if you were watching, like I was transported back just Jesse's like his voice, the way he talked, all that. He didn't sound like an 80-year-old guy. He brought me back to, 80s and 90s when he was doing it. Like it was unreal.
Yeah. As someone who, again, this is like my first time listening to Jesse the Body Ventura. Again, he's been gone for 40 years. That's almost twice my age. That's crazy. So he's back. He was fantastic. It made me realize like WWE doesn't have a lot of great commentators right now. They have Michael Cole. I think Michael Cole was able to keep up with Jesse. Um, and I like people like Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore and Corey Graves, but they're not the best. And so it was really nice to have someone so talented back on the commentary booth. And I can't remember the last time we've had someone so heelish like him, but God, I loved him. And then, like, I think I said this to you guys before, but he should really become WWE's JR. Like, bring him out for these main events. I want to see him talk about a Royal Rumble. I
Oh
think
my
that would be
god.
funny. Like, all right, Jesse, what do you think about this guy coming out? Penta. He's like, oh, what? Who? What's a Penta?
Yeah. Jesse Ventura was great. Uh I kind of don't know a lot about Pat McAfee. This is his first time back in a while, right?
Uh, no, it's only been like a couple months, I think.
Okay.
I'll be
I like
honest. Oh, sorry, you go.
his like gravelly, it's almost like a gravelly tone he uses. Like I don't know, I liked it a lot. I like him better than Michael Cole. Hot take.
No, that's fine. I don't like Pat McAfee. I think he like, especially when they have him do his like, oh, it's like a football pass play or whatever. I just find that annoying, and I always skip past it because I'm like, I don't find it funny. I hate to say, but I know he's popular and he's a big name because he's got like one of the biggest podcasts right now, and he does college football, so or he does like commentary for college football, so like he's pretty big, so he's a good thing for WWE. I'm just not a big fan of him.
Where do they put the footage of these ref cams? Because they didn't show any of it during the show.
Maybe because this was a throwback, they didn't have ref cams, or did they say they had ref cams?
Yeah, Charles Robinson had one, and one of the other refs had one.
They tend
It's
to
just
just
like
sorry, they tend to upload that online after the
Oh,
fact.
cool.
I was like, yeah, it's got to be somewhere different because they didn't show any of that footage. Uh, what happened to Prime? It was C4 for the drink of the night.
Logan Paul retired. He's
Yeah.
done. He's out of wrestling, so I guess that means Prime no longer sponsors WWE. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure they just had a different sponsor for the night.
They have the Prime shelf next to the
Yeah,
commentary.
they still have the hydration station there.
Yeah, a C4 hydration station. Thank you very much.
But yeah, this is great. Like it was a great throwback. I think they nailed it. Because yeah, like I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of modern WWE, and it felt nothing like it to me. Nothing at all. So, um, but yeah, they were in New York, New York. That was fun. Um, Started out with a really cool retro video package with a bunch of old footage. Did they show Hogan in any of that footage? They had to have, right? I don't
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
I think they started it out by talking about him. So they did. They definitely
Okay.
brought up Hogan.
Yeah, like I said, Jesse Ventura came out. He wasn't on commentary from the beginning. Uh, I liked he made a joke about Cody can't be Dusty's son because he has abs or something.
Yeah, and like there was like immediately there, I was like, oh, he's a bitch. I see. That's funny. And like the crowd was
Yep.
kind of like, it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was good. First match of the night, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Excellent match. Sammy lands a springboard moonsault to McIntyre on the floor. Really looked nice. Drew tosses Sammy on the announce table. The one thing I thought was weird is how they went into commercial. Like it was just like match, 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 fade to commercial. Like I'm used to like, and watch us while we're in picture, like Excalibur, like
Yeah,
Yeah, they also like. I feel like they even do it better on Raw because like the Raw rolls on and
yeah,
we'll be right back from commercial break. Like even they do it then. That was I definitely have issues about Saturday night's main event. Don't get me wrong. This wasn't a perfect
yeah,
show, and like my biggest issues were it are kind of just the biggest issues I have with WWE pay per views right now in general, which is all of the ads and like they don't seem to manage it well. They just kind of put them in randomly, and this was really bad about it. I got really pissy in the main event when like it went to picture in picture, but I'm watching the Peacock replay. Why can't I just not have that? Why do I have to watch the picture in picture and watch more ads after I just watched more ads? Like so yeah, it was that was my biggest complaint of the show, and it had nothing to do with the wrestlers or the booking. It was God, there's too many ads in WWE right now. I'm sick of it. And it's
yeah,
mostly because they're on Peacock, but still.
yeah. The ad breaks had their own ad breaks.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I thought it was weird the way they went about transitioning into commercial. It was just like
Yeah,
really, I don't want to
abrupt.
say abrupt, but it was like, oh, okay, now we're on a commercial. Like it was just really weird to me. We come back. Sammy gets a near fall from a sunset flip power bomb, countering a shell shock. Sammy counters a claymore with a blue thunder bomb. Looked really good for a near fall. Drew hits the claymore after Sammy rolls in uh, out of the blue and wins. Yeah, it was kind of a seemed an out of nowhere win, but it was good. It was a good match. I like Drew. This is my first non Survivor Series or War Games Sami Zayn match.
You watched him
So,
against Braun
oh,
Breaker
did
at
I?
SummerSlam. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, he got his ass beat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a 7 minute match, but hey, that's not your first. But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I loved this match, and this was like a really exciting match to start out with. Mostly, I mean, it doesn't help, or it helps that I'm a huge Drew McIntyre fan right now, and I love everything he's doing. And I was really excited to see him back so soon, and I thought he was fantastic, and I thought Sami Zayn was really good too. And I like the Bloodline Hunter storyline that Drew's got going on right now. So
yeah.
nothing but praise for this first match.
Yeah, perfect person to put Drew up against for his like kind of first match back, and it was a great way to tie him in because everybody likes. I think Sami Zayn is probably the best sympathetic babyface I've ever seen. Like, you know, he's gonna get wrecked, and you know it's gonna break your heart, but it still happens anyways. Like, you're just like, oh, I love you, Sammy, but you're gonna get destroyed. And yeah, no, I thought the storyline, because yeah, it was like the bloodline Sammy stuff was great, and I was like, oh, this makes sense. I like this a lot.
So Drew McIntyre feuded with the Bloodline a lot, huh?
It wasn't a lot. It was like really well built. They built to the first Clash of the Castle. All about Drew taking down Roman, and it was like the one time Roman went in alone. So like, and a lot of people really thought he was gonna win or lose. And then Solo Sikoa debuted in WWE on that night and helped. So like, it was a really big deal. And then Drew McIntyre feuded with them for a bit, and then kind of like went off and was a little pissy, but not too pissy, and then left and came back. And then he started really hating like Jay and people like that. So it's really been like a slow burn on him hating the bloodline, and I would say only now is he starting to attack them.
I agree with his logic. Like they were the bad guys for a really long time, and now everyone's like buddy and back up to him. Like I think him and Kevin Owens should team up because they're kind of on the same level of like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
don't you remember?
Again, it's just more reason. I was like, I didn't like that Survivor Series main event because Jay and Sammy were just like, okay, yeah, we'll team up. We gotta do it for the bloodline. Like, no, let Roman bleed. Like he's a bastard, man. So it really bugged me, and it's why I'm like, yeah, Drew McIntyre's kind of right. These people are just like
yeah.
willy nilly, like, oh, I'm gonna go team up with Roman and help him out. Like, no, and then I think Seth Rollins is justified where he's like, Punk, you're a bitch. Why are you teaming up with Roman? Why'd Sammy team up with Roman? I like it all. So I don't. It's interesting,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, they're doing like a complex storyline well. Like it still makes sense. It's still to the point, and yeah, I find it compelling. It's been pretty interesting. Like it's kind of funny, like easing back into WWE after having stepped out for a minute, and I'm like, oh no, this is great. Like they're doing a very good job telling stories.
Yeah, why can't like a B or C story, or why does a B or C storyline in WWE got to make so much more sense than the main storyline in AEW? Like, what does Moxley even? What's his point anymore? It's like change, like
I
he
don't
doesn't
know
even have like a clear.
that. I'm not kidding. That Death Rider's angle died that collision a week or so ago. So now I'm like, oh, whatever. It's them. Like I'm looking forward to like a Claudio or Pac match because I like them as wrestlers, but like I don't care. I just kind of want like I just want Hangman to win at World's End, not because it makes sense, not cause, like I just want someone else with the title. Like
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah. Oh, then they show a couple legends. We got Tito Santana and Jimmy Hart, dude. He looks just like he did like 25 years ago.
It's
I don't
crazy.
understand it. But yeah, I grew up with a lot of Jimmy Hart. Then we get a really great match again. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. Uh, Io hits a springboard moonsault on Liv on the floor. Then we go to a commercial, all abrupt like. We come back. Io lands a tope on Liv Morgan. Liv hits Io with a code breaker for a near fall. Io hits three German suplexes and then covers on the third for a 2 count. That was freaking awesome. Liv Morgan hits the Oblivion for the win. On her way back up the ramp, Rhea Ripley confronts Liv Morgan. And yeah, they're going to be doing that again, right?
Yeah. It's a shame they took until now to start booking Liv Morgan well, because I thought this was like a really nice, clean win for her, and she wasn't scared of Rhea Ripley. She stood up to her. Like, damn, it took until now, you guys, really? But I thought this was a really fun match. Io was great. God, did you see that knee she gave Liv Morgan? And like the commentators
Yeah.
were like, I think she broke her nose. Like she just kneed her in the face. So more of that, please. This was a really good match.
Yeah, I enjoyed everything on this card actually. Especially even the wrestling I thought was um it's to a higher standard than it was for a while there. Wasn't like, five moves and a plus a bunch of rest holds, like especially the women. Like they always kill it. But Io's always one of those people who I always forgets there. Then she has a match. I'm like, oh,
They probably knew they
Yeah.
were going to be on a much bigger audience because again, this was on NBC. That's free television if you got bunny ears, if those still exist.
yeah,
So, like, this is this is big. So I'm sure they all had their working boots on.
yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible. I just felt like the in-ring work, like I just don't feel like the women's division in AEW performs to that level most of the time. It's like more sloppy, more choreographed looking, like they
Yeah,
just don't have the chemistry. Like the last time I remember a match being that good in the women's division was Monet Statlander.
yeah. A lot of them I would say involve like Statlander or Willow, um, or like Monet's coming into her stride now. So I'd throw her name into that list now. But unless you're having a match with those three, I would kind of like it's just on a
I think
different
Jamie
level.
Hayter
I'd say
might,
Tony Storm too, personally. That's because I love her so
Yeah.
much. But
yeah.
um, just yeah. There is kind of a difference. I don't know what it is, but
Well, amongst all of the women's roster, they got, maybe if you include Collision and Rampage, 4 matches a week to compete for. That's not a lot of repetition, a lot of practice to
yeah,
actually, where the women's rosters get used really well in WWE. They get their
mhm,
practice in.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, really loved it. I'm really starting to, I don't know, man. It's like making me like WWE a lot more
It's
watching
becoming
this.
fed pilled.
It's good stuff, man. I don't know if it was the fact that it was the retro show, but really great wrestling. I really enjoy both of these ladies. Um, and then Rhea Ripley's badass as hell too. So watching her come out, I like her little stomp she does when the fireworks hit during her entrance. It's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah, good stuff. Then we get a really great triple threat match: Balor versus Damian Priest versus Gunther. Um, I know you love Gunther, Chandler. I'm a Damian Priestite myself.
Mm,
Love him. I love watching him wrestle. Finn Balor, I like never caught him in New Japan or like the Indies. I don't really know much about him being in WWE. I don't think I've ever seen a match with him before this one. I know he did the really cool like makeup demon look or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I like Damian Priest a lot, but this is a great match. Uh, I like Damian Priest did the Undertaker rope walk crossbody. That was pretty badass. Gunther power bombs Damian Priest on the steel steps. Uh, and then the oh yeah, even though Damian Priest's leg, did you see it get hung up on the steps and he
oh,
still power bombed him?
again, why do you think Gunther is like the best wrestler in the world? That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, like how do you power that was like Takeshita with his
Why do
belly
you
to
think?
belly.
Why do you think I want Gunther to catch them more than I want anything else?
Oof. Oh,
I that match would feed families for years, years.
Yep, you're right. You're right. That is the dream match right there.
And I'm not
Uh,
even saying like, oh, Gunther has to go to AEW or Takeshita has to go to WWE. No, you idiots, do the Super Show. God damn it! Everybody
yeah.
wants. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. But like, come on.
yeah.
Sorry. We got a
And
little excited. It's not
Gunther
about Takeshita Gunther.
Gunther gets in the ring and power bombs Finn Balor for the win. Yeah, lot of chopping. Duh. This is one of a few Damian Priest Gunther matches I've seen now, right? Like
Mhm.
they had that Survivor Series match with
This is
the other guy, or no?
no,
Oh,
Survivor Series was one-on-one, but Finn Balor still interfered,
Yeah.
which is
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened at SummerSlam, except Damian was the champ and Gunther got the champ from him, or got the championship from him.
I like when I see Damian Priest chop the shit out of Gunther.
Yeah.
It's just like a special thing, like making Gunther like wince in pain, you know?
Yeah, that's why Gunther's so good is he sells for everything. He's one of the best sellers around right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Great match.
Yeah. I've been a little annoyed at how they're like why would you book Gunther to be a bitch? That's so lame. This made up for it. He from the moment he came out and he was like just raising his hands up, he didn't want anyone to touch him. I was like, "Oh, Gunther's on it today." And
Yeah.
he wasn't scared. He was getting in the middle of everything. He was taking on everyone. And then that ending where, like cuz Damian Priest's leg accidentally hit it, he had to deadlift him all the way up. Boom, walk in like it's nothing, hit a amazing drop kick, and then another awesome power bomb and folded him like an accordion. Like, god damn, he's back, baby. He's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a cool little like I see what they try to do, like sort of give him a bit of a crisis of confidence story because of that loss to Cody, but it just didn't fit him. Like,
Yeah. Why would you give it's like giving Osprey a crisis in confidence character
yeah,
arc? Don't. It's a
yeah,
waste of time.
yeah. No, he should have just been like, sometimes you lose, moving along.
Yeah. So I loved Gunther in this match so much. And I thought Damon Priest and Finn Balor did a good job too. And it was it was nice seeing Finn Balor in a title match, but I do kind of agree with you, Dave. It definitely was like two main eventers and Finn Balor. And I really hate saying that because I really like Finn Balor and I want the best for him, but I kind of want the Judgment Day to end so that Finn can do something else and Liv can do something else and Dom can do something else because I feel like if they left, they'd be able to succeed
Yeah,
and
totally.
they're being held back by the Judgment Day right now.
Is Rachel Rodriguez in the Judgment Day?
Yeah, Raquel Rodriguez is in the Judgment Day.
Raquel. Okay. And Carlito.
I think so.
Sort of
Yeah.
tangentially, he hangs out with them.
He kind of made a racist joke and people got mad at him and so they don't let him on TV that much anymore. I think he's still he's just in the background and he doesn't say anything anymore.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this is good. I can check Finn Balor off my need to watch list. Uh, yeah, good stuff. But what I really loved was the next match. Women's United States title finals, Chelsea Green versus Michin. Last time I watched Michin, she was getting her ass kicked on NXT. She really came a far way, came along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um so Chelsea Green's got Piper Niven with her.
Hmm.
Uh she did some dirty stuff and did a boss man slam on Michin on the floor when the ref wasn't looking. Chelsea Green uh gets her leg on the rope when Michin tries to cover. That was pretty cool. That was perfect timing, smart thinking. Made her look pretty good. And Green wins with a unpretty her. Uh, I'm sure she's uh, playing homage to Christian.
Hmm.
And she's the first women's U.S. champion. Crowd was freaking really into it. Isn't that her hometown, kinda? Or
I don't
or no,
think
she's from Canada. She's from Canada, right?
I think so.
Because they were talking about
Yeah.
her getting her U.S. citizenship.
Yeah, she's a Canadian wrestler, so yeah. I loved this match too. I've been a big fan of Chelsea Green, but like it was one of those weird things where I felt dumb because I've watched her so much for like the comedy, and I
Yeah.
didn't know she could be like a really good wrestler. And so I loved this match. I loved how she came out and she had pictures of her all over herself. That was funny. And then that unpretty her, like off the top rope where she flipped around. I thought that was awesome. I reacted the same way when Gunther went. I was just like, "Fuck yeah!" So, yeah, I absolutely right decision. Like, I think they made this title for Chelsea Green, and I'm okay with that because I love Chelsea Green. And yeah, oh, by the way, did you know, Dave, that they used to call the kill switch the unprettier in WWE? Yeah, so that's why she calls it that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chad?
It was good. Kind of like you. So, Chelsea Green's like always used to be one of those people like, right on. She's doing something cool. But that was like, oh man, she's a serious wrestler now too. Like, oh wow. And yeah, I find it kind of rad that Piper's still hanging. And like, I don't know, something about that relationship kind of just it makes me giggle, but then every now and then they just switch on and it's like, oh man, they can be really dangerous too, which is cool. But it's just like the whole night, solid wrestling, good fun match, like paced out. Like I thought every match was the perfect length. They didn't overstay their welcome or like wrap up too quick. And yeah, correct decision. And yeah, she's good. And I think she's gonna be part of like the current version of the women's like horseman for a while, like because she's like she's a show stealer, I thought.
Yeah. And can't forget my favorite part, Piper Niven holding her up like the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that made me like, "Aw, I know what they're doing."
yeah. It was a ton of fun, and I'm glad she's the first one.
She's great. And I love how she's married to Matt Cardona.
He was on Rampage.
Yeah.
He
Similar
was.
levels.
It's
What
all
if
right.
Matt?
He's gonna be the ROH World Champion soon.
That's what I was gonna say. What if he beats Jericho?
Wow, just nothing but champions in that household.
Yep. Yep. Then they show a couple more legends: Greg the Hammer Valentine and Coco Beware. Good to see them. Then we got Jesse Ventura taking his seat on commentary for the main event. Like how he says he stole Jake the Snake's snake and made a coat out of it.
I'm surprised he like again. They said beforehand that they're not censoring him, but they mentioned Jake the Snake, who's I don't know in the other company, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I thought it was great. But yeah, our main event here, we got Cody coming out with the I'm going to call it the WWF Winged Eagle World Heavyweight
Nice.
Championship. Might as well be, man. That thing looked good, man.
I
Oh, it
did
looked good.
when they had a real close up on it. I paused and like looked at all the little details and like I'm not like, oh, is it different? But like, okay, like how have they modernized it? And they just used that retro logo, but like it was gold. Like it didn't stand out. There wasn't an
Oh,
outline of
cool.
it, and I was like, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like you guys know how to make a good title. You just don't. It's crazy.
Branding,
I know.
corporate
Blah,
synergy.
blah.
Man, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a replica now. I can't get it from the WWE shop because I want it to actually have the WWF logo on it.
Mhm.
So I'll have to shop around. But yeah, Cody gives Kevin Owens an RKO on the announce desk. Then a Cody cutter in the ring for a near fall. Owens lands an avalanche fisherman's buster for a near fall. We get a ref bump. Uh, Kevin Owens hits a stunner. We got no ref to count. We get a new ref in, and it's just a 2 count because they wasted too much time. Then we get another ref bump. Owens grabs a chair. Cody gives him a Cody cutter. Then a crossroads on the chair for the win. Boo. Cody turning heel? He
I don't
used the
know.
chair.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of interesting things to talk about this, but was that the end of it? Did Cody just win, or was that all?
No. Apparently, after they went off the air, Kevin Owens gives Cody a package pile driver.
A first
Uh,
one he's hit in WWE.
Hell
Yeah, he's
yeah.
teased it once or twice, but he never pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
Then they stretcher Cody out. He steals the winged eagle, goes up the ramp, and him and Triple H getting a little kerfuffle. And yeah, Kevin Owens stole the belt. I love it.
Yeah. Um. So I like this, and I'm a little nervous because part of me just wants Kevin to win because I think that would be good. Um. I think it'd be both good for Cody and Kevin, and then Cody can get it back, and boom, he's already a two-time WWE champion. Da
Yeah.
da 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 da. He can still walk, like he can still walk into WrestleMania with the title. Well, there's time. Um, but the one, and I know I was very critical of Jay White stealing the AEW title last year, but I'm okay with it now because I feel like there's a chance if he's stealing it they might just let them keep it when Cody gets it back.
Ooh.
They might. I don't know why I feel that, but I really hope so. So I don't know, but at least the match itself, it was a really fun match, really good main event for the main event. And Jesse the Body Ventura obviously was a great addition on commentary. And then yeah, I don't know about Cody turning heel. It's interesting. Like at least Cody just didn't win, and it gives Kevin more fuel to his fire. Where like there were two ref bumps, the ref counted the pin outside of the ring. What has that
Yeah.
ever happened? Like, is that Is that legal? Nobody knows, and it gives him more fuel to be justified, even though he's still delusional. So I think it was overall a really good main event, and I'm still into the story. Um, the only hesitation is I was really hoping Kevin would win. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how they like what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm interested. It's like, is Cody going to take a week or two off, then come back for Raw on Netflix, or sell those injuries? But also, my one of my favorite little moments is when he did Kevin Owens did the Randy Orton drop him onto the announce desk. That, hi, Randy, how'd you like that, Randy? I was like,
Yeah.
he does unhinged so well.
Well, okay, so I forget why I really hated the ads in this is because it was all during Kevin Owens's heat, which I know like you can always skip the heel heat. But like Kevin was giving it his all and he was doing quite frankly some crazy shit to Cody.
Yeah.
And like he was doing the art or the Randy pose, and then he told each part of the crowd to do the cross chop, and I'm like, or he cross chop or crotch chopped all four sides of the arena, and I was like, I wish I could hear the crowd boo him right now. I'm sure that'd be fun, but now I gotta watch the T-Mobile ad for the 80th time.
Yeah, that man
Uh,
is. Yeah, apparently, like one of the reasons why he got so good at his like in-ring trash talk was because he bumped into Stone Cold Steve Austin in the airport and asked him for advice, and he was just like, "Just don't stop talking." Oh, he's like in the ring, just always shoot your mouth. So it was like literally just a chance encounter, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that."
Yeah,
awesome.
I love Kevin. I really want the best for him. I think a lot of people are saying he was going to win the Rumble this year, which is interesting because I don't think anyone else has a better idea of who's going to win it this year. So I don't know. Yeah, all in all, a really good show. The retro throwback was a really nice change of pace. I kind of hope that they only keep the retro for the main event shows because they don't need it like
Yeah.
for every Raw, but they learn something from the simplicity of the Saturday night's main event because
Yeah, it doesn't have to be quite so overblown. Like it was so much. It was so easy to watch.
And there
Like
were
all
no
the flash and the
promos.
craziness like does it like kind of takes you out of it sometimes.
I was surprised there wasn't even like one backstage promo. Like Roman
Yeah.
didn't get any. Like,
Yeah.
and I kind of am okay with that because WWE typically doesn't have anything like advertising Raw on the pay per view. They're typically just like, we're gonna keep it on the show, and if there's a promo, it's for a match coming up, where it's like, oh, we can't find Finn, and we have Damian Priest versus Gunther, like something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Loved it. I'm gonna watch every Saturday night's main event that they put on.
January
Freaking
25th.
absolutely loved it.
That's
Yep.
the next
Loved
one.
it. Watching it. I'm
What?
gonna have to make that a tradition now. Like I watch
Right?
every single one of them. Like,
One last thing I want to like bring up, and I'm not like shitting on AEW. This is just more like, isn't this weird? Like, because this took place in Long Island, New York, at the Nassau Coliseum, which is where World's End was last year. And one thing I remember from World's End was that crowd was awful, like so bad. And I know AEW was pretty cold back then, and WWE's really hot right now, but it was just night and day the difference between the two, like how they were into this. It just was like, and I know it's not obviously the same exact crowd and the same exact people, but I was like, it's the same town and the same stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like markets tend to have their own personality. Like every time there's a good show in Chicago, you know the crowd's going to be a certain way. Like same
Mhm.
kind of same thing with them, you would think.
yeah. 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 Loved it. I'm gonna watch every Saturday night's main event that they do. Um, Guess I'll just touch on Rampage real quick. Matt Cardona beat Brian Keith with a radio silence. Tony Storm beat Harley Cameron with a hip attack, then a Storm Zero. Did you have anything you wanted to add to Tony?
I like this identity crisis gimmick, or like it's not exactly clear what's going on. Where like, or she's
Right.
relapsed to like before she's. But I'm intrigued and I like it and it's funny.
Yeah, yeah, it's what I was hoping would happen, which is she didn't just go back to like there's an evolution in the character because that
Yeah.
was I think the one thing we were talking about last time we were on air was she needs to evolve. She needs to keep that personality because I always thought she was a little flat before the timeless stuff. So
I want her to
Yep.
run into someone like Kyle Fletcher, like interrupt like a super serious Kyle Fletcher promo backstage and be like, "Oh my God, Kyle, remember me?" And be like, "From Aussie Open, how's Mark Davis doing?" And like, then he's like, "Ooh," like do something like that. Like I'm really intrigued, but I'm still pissy that it was on Rampage. It's mostly because Rampage is gonna die in like a week. And I don't know, I've been watching AEW for the last year or so, and I know they advertise it and I know they tell me about it, but AEW has shown me nothing else other than Rampage doesn't matter. And after watching one Rampage, everything but the Tony Storm stuff didn't matter. So I don't know why the hell. And the only other thing I could think is like maybe they're saying, oh, because Tony Storm thinks she's lower on the card, that means she's on Rampage. But that's not how it works. Tony Khan books the matches. Tony Storm doesn't book her own matches. So I, it pisses me off that it was on Rampage, but it's over and done with. I watched it. It was fun.
Yeah. Then we got Deanna Purrazzo beating a jobber with a Fujiwara armbar. Chris Statler promo. She's moving forward. Will wrestle on Collision, and she'll be keeping an eye on the TBS title. Then we get a Don Callis family promo, interrupted by Powerhouse Hobbs and Mark Davis. Then we get Mark Davis and Will Hobbs versus Takeshita and Lance Archer. We end up having uh, Mark Davis and Will Hobbs winning. Hobbs gives Takeshita a spine buster. Did Takeshita ate the pin on that? Is that
No,
real?
Lance
Or
Archer
no?
did.
Archer.
Yeah.
Archer took, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that happened. Then we got AEW Collision, which was pretty damn good, gotta tell you. Darby Allin, like they start off right off the bat. Remember how they used to do these kind of like
yeah,
Yeah.
little Yeah, this is
God,
good. I'm really
I
glad they did this.
I liked the Osprey Allen. I liked Osprey in the Osprey Darby Allen promo. And I liked the Beast Mortos, Kyle Fletcher, Okada, Briscoe like promos beforehand. Like I completely forgot they did
Yeah.
them. And I'm like, and I'm mad now because I'm like, why did you stop doing these? They're so good.
Yeah, it's very old school.
Yeah.
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 But
The
yeah, Darby.
Beast Morto stuff killed me too.
More
Start
like
talking.
bitch Mortos.
Ah.
Ooh. But yeah, Darby wants Osprey to help take on the Death Riders. Osprey just wants to win the C2. After the C2, he'll help Darby. Uh, yeah, they needed to start getting these guys involved in this if they want to make it credible.
Yeah.
Swerve, Osprey, shit, MJF is gonna have to pick a side, right?
Did you see MJF's new feud potentially? You
No.
did it. You did it. Okay. I'm gonna make one point about Osprey. This is gonna be big. This is really big. Okay, you don't see me react like this for many people. So just think of like who could this possibly be MJF's next feud, okay?
AJ
So
Boom.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I loved Osprey in this promo because it's like, yeah, he's pissy. He lost at Wrestle Dream and he lost at Full Gear. He was like, this doesn't happen to me. I don't lose this much. Why wasn't that on Dynamite?
That's
He was
fair.
all happy and like cheery and let's go crowd, yippee! I'm so like, wow. Like, so you're doing it in the promos, but not the matches. But the promo was good. I have to tell, the promo was good. But like, be consistent for the love of God. Like, I like when Osprey's pissy.
Yeah.
I don't like him when he's, and I know I'll have to deal with it later. But like right now, I like pissy Osprey. And then Darby Allen was Darby Allen doing the typical Moxley smells. We have to
Lived
wipe
in
his
my
ass.
car.
Yeah.
Moxie
But
should go live in a car.
I liked how Osprey was like, let me focus on this. I lived in my car, Osprey. Can I sleep with you? Um, so I liked Osprey's bit. And I liked how he was like, I have to focus on the C2. And it made sense why he's in the C2 because he's like, I have to redeem myself. And so now I'm finally like, okay, I like that Osprey. He's got to redeem himself from
Yeah.
being on a losing streak, kind of. And then I liked how he was like, you can knock on my door, bruv. But yes, it is Big AJ Boom. MJF was wrestling QT Marshall at some indie show, and then Big Boom it's some indie show. I don't know what. Like it's really small, and then Big Boom AJ goes in the ring and like knocks down QT and stares down MJF.
Dude, that is
That's
good.
amazing.
So
That is good.
I don't know when that's. I'm glad that they're already like, we'll pull the plug on this Adam Cole thing. We're looking to the future, baby. Big Boom.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that will. I want to see MJF and Big Boom AJ. I think that'll be funny.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want him. I want him to make the Rizzler cry, and I love the Rizzler, but I want him to make the Rizzler cry. So yeah, Collision had a good start, minus Darby Allen, but Osprey's good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. And then, like we said, they had a little mini promo from Mortos, Okada,
Fletcher
who
and
else?
Briscoe.
Yeah, it was great. I love that cold open like they used to do, man. Uh, then we jump right into the Women's Dynasty Cup final, Willow Nightingale versus Jamie Hayter. Uh, really great match. Really liked it. Willow, uh, let's see.
Willow
They
did a
have a
better
really good
lion
shop.
salt than Jericho.
What?
She did a better lion salt than Jericho.
True.
Dude, it was great. Yeah. They have a really great chop exchange from the get-go. Jamie Hayter DDTs Willow on the apron. The lights flicker. Ooh. Willow sentons Jamie Hayter from the apron to the floor. Willow lands a really beautiful lion salt on Hayter for a near fall. Willow counters a Haterade with a pounce. Jamie Hayter counters a Doctor Bomb with a roll up for a 2 count, then a backbreaker. Willow counters a Haterade with a Doctor Bomb for the win. Willow takes off real quick, then the lights go out, and when they come back on, Julia Hart has Jamie Hayter in a DDT hold, and then boom, DDTs her. That was great. Like it was. I'm so glad to see her back. It's going to be a pretty good feud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a really fun match. I'm a little surprised Willow won so clean. Not that I'm against it. I was all for Willow going to this 4-way. And then it was like, it just like they were very much teasing that Julia would cost Jamie. So I don't know why they didn't do that if they were teasing it, but at least she's coming back, or at least she's back. So
Yeah.
Is she going to start dating Dante Martin?
the king and queen of being back, baby.
No, she's married to
Lee Moriarty.
Lee. Lee. No, it's not Moriarty. It's Lee Johnson.
Oh.
Big Shotty Lee Johnson.
Speaking of Lee Moriarty, did you hear he's going to have an open challenge at Ring of Honor Final Battle? Is he going to be Kenny Omega? Is it going to be John Cena?
It's going to be Big AJ Boom.
Boom.
He'll have a pure chocolate chunk cookie championship.
Exactly.
Dude, they need to make an AJ belt where it's just a big cookie.
Yeah, why not?
Championship belt.
Sell some merch of it.
Dude, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, after that we got a banger of a C2 match here. Blue League, Okada versus the Beast Mortos. Good lord, man. Both these guys. They are putting the spotlight on Mortos, and I am so happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is incredible. Mortos does a really quick, agile power slam to Okada out of the corner. I don't think like anyone power slams like Mortos.
Mm-mm.
Like he's given Dustin Rhodes a run for his money.
Yeah. That's the name that popped into my head. I was like, yeah, him and Dusty kind of both have really good ones.
I always
Yeah,
love
dude.
Randy's. Randy's got a really good power.
True.
Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
Ooh,
part of
okay.
his comeback.
It's 5 moves of doom, baby. It's
Yeah.
not just John Cena. Yeah, he goes, he does lariat, power slam, middle rope DDT, RKO.
Good. I love it. Mortos does a spinning tornillo to Okada from the ring to the floor. Okada DDTs Mortos on the floor. Mortos gives Okada 3 backbreakers, covers for a near fall. Okada does his elbow drop on Mortos. Mortos counters the Rainmaker with his own lariat. Okada ends up getting the win with a Rainmaker. Freaking excellent. Both these, dude. Like there was a point where I'm like, man, are they gonna put Mortos over? Like,
I thought they were gonna go to time. I
Yeah.
really thought they were gonna, and then especially with the main event, but we'll get to that. I was like, oh my god, I think Mortos is gonna like stall out Okada, but I don't think we've seen anyone manhandle Okada like we did with Mortos. It was crazy. He's just throwing him around with all those backbreakers. It was awesome. Like I forget, Mortos is so good, and like even though he's gonna go 1-4 or 0-4, he is delivering, and all of his matches are great. Remember the Fletcher Mortos match?
Oof.
Like he's just on fire right now, and Okada was so good in this. I forget just because Okada's not around a lot, he is like top 5 AEW wrestlers for me. He's just not around a lot, but
Yeah.
I love him in the C2. And like I still really want Okada to win so badly, but I don't think he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like the story right now is Fletcher's the guy to beat. So
And I think the new front runner for the C2 just beat Fletcher.
yeah.
yeah. I don't know, man.
Yep.
He's not so good at these Continental Classics.
He kind of
Oh,
sucks at them.
yeah, we'll get to that, which I think this Blue League on Collision is really, really good right now. And the Gold League is just really cold, except for like Brody King and Osprey, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great match. Loved it. It was absolutely a perfect opening match for Collision. Then we get Tony Storm in another match, which like she was on Collision anyway. Why couldn't this have just, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm I loved
uh,
the after bit, you know. I loved the I'm all elite. That was really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, why? Come on. Why couldn't she wrestle Harley Cameron on Collision?
Ooh, please.
yeah, that would have been fire. But yeah, Tony Storm beats the Jobber with hip attack, then a Storm Zero. She gets on the mic. She says she is all elite. Then we get a Mariah May promo. She talks about stuff and calls out Thunder Rosa anytime, any place. So that'll be World's End, right?
It is. They've announced it,
Okay.
which we'll get to
Then
that
we
when we
got a
talk about
Thunder Rosa promo. I don't even care what Thunder Rosa's saying because Tony Storm interrupts it and introduces herself as if they don't even know each other. To Thunder Rosa and Tony Schiavone.
Mhm.
Genius.
Yeah, way too good.
Yeah.
And let's see. And then we go back. Tony Storm walks away, and Thunder Rosa calls out Mariah May for a Tijuana street fight for World's End. Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad they actually put a stipulation on it because I feel like that would be a really boring match or like a match I have no
Yeah.
interest in. But now I'm like, it'll be a street fight
Yeah.
at least. But I think Thunder Rosa cut the kind of promo where if you're watching a TV show and the characters are watching wrestling and the promo written by the wrestlers on their show is written by someone who's never seen wrestling before, that's what Thunder Rosa's promo was like, if that made any sense. Where she was like, my dad's gonna be there and I'm gonna ask her to bring dirt so I can show her where I'm from and show her where he's from. And I was like, what? Dirt? I'm more interested in Tony Storm restarting her career than
Yeah.
I am Thunder Rosa right now.
Your pile of dirt.
Yeah.
To rewind a bit, how is AJ Boom better at promos than her? Like he did the best classic wrestling promo of probably the year. And
Yeah.
it's like, wait, why is the professional wrestler worse at this than the dude who's hasn't done this in 20 years?
The dude who's on TikTok and is famous for double chunk chocolate cookies.
Anyway, yeah, I'm glad there's gonna be a stip for this. Like, it should be a freaking good. Like, Thunder Rosa's great in these type of street fights. Like,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about it. It's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be brutal. There's gonna be thumbtacks. Probably, she'll probably have that pile of dirt, right?
It'll be
Throwing it
like,
on right.
you know how like they have the little baggies
Yeah.
and it's like thumbtacks
Yeah.
or broken glass. She'll pour it out and it'll be dirt. And Tony Schiavone will be like, "There's dirt, good God Almighty, there's dirt on the." And then Excalibur will be like, "Oh my God, I don't know if you know that, but that is dirt, commonly referred to as soil. It can be used to grow plants and sometimes worms grow
Yeah.
into it. I wonder what Thunder Rosa is going to do
It,
with it." And
it might
Nigel's,
sting if it gets in someone's eyes.
just like. Do you think NXT will hire me back? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Oh
kidding. I'm
no,
kidding. I'm
no,
kidding.
no! Don't take away my Nigel.
No, don't. I don't think Nigel would be good in WWE. I don't think he'd be as good as in AEW. I think they let him get away with
Hell
a
no.
lot, and I think they would let him get away with a lot more. But I don't know. Anyways, dirt match.
The Fletchlight
A
was
flex
so good.
was pretty funny.
So good. Anyway, after that, we get Top Flight versus Leo Rush and Action Andretti. I liked Leo Rush and Action Andretti. Now they both have the puffy, spiky coat. One had the vest. I like their matching gear. I think they got a new theme song too.
They essentially turned heel. They turned on the
Yeah.
top flight in this match. So
Yeah, dude, I kind of liked all of it. Like, uh, basically, Layla Gray gets knocked out by a tope from Leo Rush. He like hits Dante, and then Dante knocks her down, right?
yeah,
And while Top Flight's checking on her, Leo Rush uh, gets Darius back in the ring. Frog splashes him. Then Action Andretti 450 splashes. him for the win. Like, kind of liked it.
Yeah. I,
So yeah, looks like they're getting that title shot.
They are, yeah. It didn't really feel like a number one contenders match, but it was
No.
better than I thought because I really didn't care about this match, and I've been saying that doing this with Top Flight and Action Andretti makes this feel really mid card. But after this match on Collision, I have the slightest feeling, and it's based on nothing, but maybe just hope that like, oh, maybe they're trying to build other people, like they're trying to bring
Yeah.
Action Andretti and Leo Rush up, and with a big heel turn like not a big heel turn, but with a heel turn like that, maybe. So maybe it's not so cynical as I thought. Maybe they're saving like maybe this will be the world's end tag team match and they're gonna tear the house down. And if
Yeah,
that's
no,
the,
that's. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say if that's the case, hell yeah. Like that's
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, it's a good pairing. Like the match itself will be kind of like I think I was saying that the other week about this match, which was don't care, but the match will be great. And sure enough, the match was pretty darn good. And then yeah, I like Leo like kind of making references to the past a little, like oh the man of the hour is back, and I was like okay, cool, right on, because I'm always a sucker for that little bit of nostalgia. So
yeah.
Yeah. And the Grizzled Young Vets, by the way, have been competing in Ring of
who?
Honor.
Why aren't they the Ring of Honor tag team champions?
Who even are?
It's
Who even
Dusty Rhodes and
knows?
Sammy Guevara.
Oh, still?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
they're
and
not.
he's the trio
They're
champ.
fighting the Righteous at Final Battle.
Oh
Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
and I'm not trying to diss on the Righteous, but Grizzled Young Vets were supposed to be a pretty big get. Like, I remember people were being like, oh, they left WWE, they're going to go to AEW, tear it up, and they debuted at All In. But then they lost to FTR on Collision, and now they're stuck in Rampage. Like, how do you fumble them that bad?
Pretty easily, apparently.
Well, and then like they're like, grit your teeth. Remember that? They said it
Yeah,
like 5 times a match. Ugh. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing with them.
Yeah, true. But yeah, after that we get a nice little refreshing Chris Statlander match against some jobber girl. Statlander wins with a Saturday Night Fever. Good to see her. Love Statlander. Um, then we get Dustin Rhodes calling out Dutch and Vincent from the Righteous for Ring of Honor Final Battle. Then we get a big popcorn match, 10-man tag. Uh, so it looks like Daniel Garcia and Commander now have their outside of the tournament match.
I'm like I thought AEW had a big roster. How are they like?
right.
How are they this strapped for people that they had? Like, I was annoyed at Orange Cassidy being in this. Like, I don't know. I don't know why like Jay White and Hangman weren't in this match. Like, why is it Hangman wrestling? Jay White and Orange Cassidy have been wrestling. Why is it Hangman wrestling? They all have a world title match.
Uh, shouldn't Daniel Garcia be mad at Orange Cassidy, who's a member of the conglomeration, who Mark Briscoe is also a member of, who
No,
just beat him?
he was buddies with Mark Briscoe after the match, so that's okay. I don't know, man. I'm kind of like this is like a popcorn match that is infuriating me.
Are
But
Commander and Garcia on opposite
Shit, I didn't
brackets?
think about it that deeply until just now. Now I'm getting a
yeah,
little ticked off.
well, again, it's like the Beast Mortals match where it's like, why are you doing this? He's in a. We're supposed to take this tournament seriously. I do actually take this tournament seriously. Funny enough, so like, why is he in these meaningless matches that have no stakes and are just thrown on the card last minute when they could in kayfabe or real life get injured? Right? They could
Yep.
jeopardize their chances in this tournament by being in these matches, kayfabe or not, right? So why? And then okay, so 3 of the 12 guys have to be in matches. What about the other 9? Why doesn't
Right.
Osprey or Ricochet or Kyle Fletcher or Okada have a match? Like, why? How about you just say these people are going to be in a bracket or they're in a tournament? This is really important. They're not in any other matches. No indie shows, No nothing. No dark show matches. We're keeping them as fit as possible because we want them to perform as best as possible. But no, we'll just put them in a 10-minute and if it was a match that mattered, like let's say Daniel Garcia and Osprey and I don't know, Darby Allin got a really random hair up their ass, and they were like, "We're gonna take the trios titles off the Death Riders." At least that's like story relevant. Like, oh, they're trying to take it's random and it shouldn't happen now, but at least it's kind of important. But I don't know. I'm just kind of like in it. Like, I didn't hate this match. It was fun. I liked the bit at the end where Commander ran across and tagged Orange Cassidy and did a big flip, and Orange Cassidy won. And then Commander and Truth Magnum are running around the ring, and I liked the Outrunners. Like, I didn't hate the match quality. It's just like, why is Orange Cassidy and Daniel Garcia and Commander in this match when this match doesn't matter? And the C2 does. And the world's title match at World's End does.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. A lot of cool stuff. We got to see the Outrunners. That was my silver lining.
Oh yeah,
I like MXM quite a bit also. The Premier Athletes suck, but
they're good
uh,
punching bags. They're
they are.
really great at selling and losing on
Yep,
Collision.
yep, they sure are. Yep, love the rope walk tag, diving on the pile, Orange Cassidy, Orange punches, Mark Sterling, and then Josh Woods for the win. That was good. But yeah, Orange Cassidy Outrunners, Commander Garcia end up winning. After that, we got Don Callis whining about Archer and Takeshita losing. He's going to be getting revenge on Hobbs at World's End. The match is official. Hobbs versus Takeshita. That should be a really good match, right?
Yeah, my only complaint is I wish Takeshita called for the match because he's the
Yeah.
guy with the
Yeah.
title, but I know it's Don Callis, so whatever. But
Yeah.
it should be. I'm looking forward to the match.
Yeah. No, Don Callis's like promo speaky bits. Woo, man, he was on. He was on point. I was like, he got me fired up for the match.
Yeah,
Yeah. I quite enjoy Don Callis nowadays.
yeah. No,
Quite a bit.
I've always liked the Don Callis family because he has picked a lot of really good wrestlers to be in that group. Whether or not like he picked them or Tony Khan did, I don't care. It's a good group and he's a good mouthpiece. I just wish they were like being taken more seriously. And we're finally there with Fletcher and Takeshita, but like I don't know, it still doesn't feel all the way, but we're close enough.
Yeah. He says Fletcher will win the Continental Championship, and uh, when he beats a degenerate Mark Briscoe. All right, main event. C2 Blue League match. This was something else. Like
Uh-huh. Best match in the
something
C2
else.
so far. And I really liked
Yes.
the Okada Fletcher match last week. This is by far the best match in the C2 so far.
Totally took me by surprise. Dude,
Oh,
it was within like 20 seconds of
yeah,
the time limit too.
Yeah.
yeah. Last 5 minutes, I was like, I have no idea what's happening. It's great.
It makes
Yeah, I
sense.
took
Like, oh, the longer Fletcher goes on, people are like noticing his tricks and they're like, I'm not gonna let you I know you're gonna go for my dick, so I'm gonna watch it. I know you're gonna go for the rope, but the referee caught it. I'm not gonna lie. When the referee caught that, I popped. I was like, let's fucking go. Yeah. This was like the Gunther match, like Chelsea Green. It got me actually cheering, which is like sad because I'm doing it alone in my room, but I don't care. I was so into this.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Let's see, we get a Cactus Jack elbow drop to Fletcher on the floor. Fletcher gives Briscoe a brain buster on the barricade and then dives on him uh, off a chair into the crowd. Briscoe suplexes Fletcher into the ringside area from the crowd over the barricade. Fletcher covers, but his legs are on the rope and the ref caught him. Briscoe kicks out of a brainbuster near fall. Briscoe hits a What's he calling that driver that he does?
Oh, Outlast Driver or something like that.
Man, I
Oh,
can't remember what it's called. It's
I'm
so
looking it
I
up.
love it. Uh, but Fletcher rolls out of the ring, so he couldn't get covered. Briscoe and Fletcher do this great like roll up counter, uh, over and over and over sequence. Uh, Briscoe ends up hitting the J Driller for the win, dude, with like 20 seconds or less left in the match. Unbelievable. Yeah, it was so great. I did not think they were gonna let Briscoe win this. Like,
No way.
I was like, there's no
No,
way.
it was probably legitimately the most I've been surprised by an AEW match in quite some time. I was like, they did what? Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's called the Cutthroat Driver, real quick,
Yes, the cutthroat driver. Oh,
but
I
my
love that
God,
move.
I did not expect a Mark Briscoe resurgence in the latter half of the C2. And you know what? I love it. It's really adding to like the magic of the C2 where it feels like anything can happen. Where I would say AEW really struggles with that. Like it really can get like boring, especially on Dynamite, where it's like, yeah, I know who's gonna win. Yeah, I know who's probably gonna win that match. And that's like every week, but like I didn't expect Fletcher to beat Okada, and I didn't expect Briscoe to beat Fletcher. But it's elevated both of these men. Like it hasn't lowered Fletcher that he
Huh.
lost in this. It was an excellent match, and he was still kicking out of a lot of stuff. It's just Briscoe didn't fall for any of his tricks. So
And, and here we are talking about a surprise win instead of losses. Remember
yeah,
how we were saying like, oh, we're just talking about the losses that were surprising. Like this is a great,
Oh, it was good. Yeah,
rebound.
no, all of a sudden I'm like rebooking the whole thing in my head. Like, could Briscoe be like this year's Eddie Kingston? Like, could he
Yep.
have that slow start and get momentum at the end? Like, could he go all the way? Like,
yeah,
Mhm.
God, I hope so. That would be amazing. But who
We
knows?
we could get a Fletcher Briscoe rematch in the at World's End.
I think so I'm looking at the brackets right now. It's still Fletcher Okada leading. So if we wanted Briscoe's probably going to be in the finals or at least pretty close because all he has to wrestle is Beast Mortos.
Yep.
And I hate to say it, Mortos could beat him, but I doubt it. Why would you want to
Mhm.
spoil a good guy unless it's going to be like a tragic loss, but who knows? But we could get like Kyle Fletcher and yeah, actually we might just get Kyle Fletcher and Briscoe because the only Kyle Fletcher match left is Garcia, and Garcia could spoil that for him. So who knows what they'll do?
Yeah, it's I like that we're just like, "Ooh, like, we don't know what's gonna happen now."
Well, the sucks is like that's just one league, but I would
yeah,
say all six men in this one league are killing it right now and having matches of their careers. Maybe not Okada because he's had a much more illustrious career than the other five men, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
And then
Mhm.
the other league is like I'm looking at it and I'm like, Osprey, Claudio, Ricochet, all tied with six, and then Darby and Brody have three, and then Commander has nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna win, guys? Who cares? That's my
Yeah.
answer.
I want
Um,
Brody to win.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So Brody has an Osprey and a Commander match. So if he beats
Okay.
Osprey, um,
What if he loses to Commander?
I have a feeling I think Darby's gonna be Osprey. I don't know why, or they're gonna go to a draw. They and they're doing it well. They're hyping up that Darby Allen Osprey match
Mhm.
to an annoying extent, to the
Yep.
point where I hate to say it, I don't want to see it. Like they've talked about it so much, and I was
Too many
never
expectations now.
well, I was never too excited about it in the first place. So they yammer on about it, and I know they're supposed to. They're doing their job, but like they yammer and yammer on about it. And I'm like, whatever. Like there's so many like I'll just tell you what's on Dynamite. Do you know Mortos and Benjamin is on Dynamite? Because they barely threw that in on Collision, and I'm way more excited for that match.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'll be dope.
Me too.
Um,
We can
and
get
it
an
looks,
LFI Hurt Syndicate feud.
yeah, if Roosh ever comes back, but I don't think, unless you guys have anything else to say about Fletcher Briscoe, I don't think that was the end of Collision, wasn't it, Dave?
No, FTR got kidnapped by the Death Riders. It was kind of dorky, them like hiding behind the cases, like like waiting for him to come in, like,
But
and they put the camera.
you're telling me the Death Riders are dorky right now? I had no
It was
idea.
very dorky to me. They put the camera, hidden camera, and then Marina Shafir stops FTR before they get in the door, and the Death Riders put bags over their heads and push them out the door. Ooh, like
Why
it
would you
was kind of
film
dumb.
yourself doing crime?
Well, also, didn't FTR say they'd meet him in the ring? So
Yeah, and it was
why
over. It was the end of the show.
it would have been better if like FTR went to the ring and then like maybe just Moxley came out and he was like, they're all at home. And then they kind of like talk for like a minute, and then of course everyone jumps out, and then they bag him. And like it might have been better if it was an actual segment, but it's like they forgot about it and they were like, "Oh crap, we gotta do that," and so they just had it at the end. I've said it before. This angle's dead for me. It's dead in the water.
Yep,
Bringing
I
in
hate it too.
FTR isn't gonna fix it because what are FTR gonna take the world title off of Moxley? Is Dax Harwood, the greatest wrestler alive, gonna beat Moxley? And it's like what? They're not a trios, so I don't want them going for the trios titles again. I wanted this is a perfect time to have FTR go for I don't know, those tag team titles to book a big match for Private Party, but nah, they gotta stand up for AEW, and Tony Khan's such a great guy. I'm gonna give him a kiss after the show. Ugh. So
I
I
bet
don't
you
know.
anything too that was pre-taped. The
Yeah,
kidnapping.
yeah, it probably was. I think all of FTR segments have been pre-taped lately. So
Like I thought it was, yeah, like if it they promised in the ring, like you mentioned, why were they just showing up when the show was ending?
Right?
yeah, they didn't like. It's not
You guys
like
are terrible employees.
Tony Schiavone was like, "Oh my god, this was taken earlier in the day, and we just found out about it," or like,
That would
may
have made
or
sense.
maybe Tony Schiavone was like should have said at like some point during like a break between a match, like, "Man, I thought FTR are gonna come out. Why aren't they coming out?" Like,
Or they could have showed that at any point in the middle of the show.
yeah,
I
God,
don't
this
know. Yeah, I
sucks.
thought it was stupid. I laughed like you laughed the other week.
Look, okay, at least AEW is one of the like it's got a lot of laughs right now, a lot of laughs.
True.
I think
Unintentional, but true.
I was laughing with AEW with this week, but it was mostly because of Tony Storm, and I think she's really funny right now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't care about these Death Riders, man. It's like
It just worsened it
right as they got
with
the cool
FTR.
theme, right as they got the cool name, they died. Why did
Yep.
that happen?
Yep. They're no NWO, I'll tell you that much.
Anyways, do we want to talk about big events coming up?
Yes.
We got Dynamite Holiday Bash with I don't know if this is on the Rampage. Yeah, so this is on the Rampage, but Brody King versus Commander is on the Holiday Bash Rampage. Shelton Benjamin versus the Beast Mortos, which very, very exciting. We will hear from MJF, so it'll probably be a backstage or video package again or whatever. Monet and Anna Jay, which should be fun, and Osprey and Allen, which I hope I'm proven wrong and I like it, but right now I'm not looking forward to it.
So are they having AJ Boom deal with MJF because Adam Cole brings the boom? Is that where they're making the connection? Are they
No,
gonna have Adam Cole team with
do you remember?
AJ?
you remember what I said with the Death Riders, where they need Moxley to kill AJ because that's something the AEW crowd really loves right now? Maybe they're doing
Yeah.
that, but with MJF. Like they're like, "Oh, MJF is cold." They're not excited for Adam Cole. They're not booing MJF. So what if he just like kills Big Boom AJ?
And makes Big Justice watch.
Yeah, like,
And he's
and
just crying.
I think the fact that they're already like somewhat working on a Big Boom MJF feud, it's a lock
Yeah.
that MJF is going to win.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lock that he's winning at World's End. I'd be shocked if like it's almost like it being for the Dynamite Diamond Ring also kills the match. Adam Cole's not getting that.
Nah.
And then it's like,
What?
okay, your Russo swerved us, brother. Adam Cole beats MJF. Why? Why like you're 5 years in? Why does Adam Cole need the ring when it's like way better for MJF? And I don't want MJF to lose it unless it's like, I don't know, like Fletcher. Fletcher would be a great name to take it from him.
Ooh.
Again, I think
Yeah.
I've already said that where like Fletcher beats him for it, and then it's a Don Callis thing, right? Like Don Callis uses
Yeah.
it for all of the matches, but whatever.
About the only other person that it feels right for.
Yeah. And then we have the big pay-per-view event at the end of the year. Ring of Honor Final Battle. QT Marshall and Jay Lethal. Lee Moriarty has an open challenge. There's a 6-pack challenge for the Ring of Honor World TV Championship. AR Fox, Brian Cage, Blake Christian, Willie Mack, Mark Davis, and Commander. So Mark Commander has another match. Not in the C2. God damn it. It's not that hard. Find any other guy. Put Ray Fenix in there. That guy you're not using? Ooh. Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch for the Women's World TV Championship. The Sons of Texas versus the Righteous. Dave, this is a Texas bull rope match for the Ring of Honor.
Ooh.
Athena versus Billy Starks for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. And then, of course, the main event, the match that they should just put on Dynamite. Every Dynamite, Chris Jericho versus Matt Cardona.
Oh, I want Matt Cardona to win, and I want Billy Starks to beat Athena.
I
You
think
know
she
why?
will.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I think like because this is the rematch they fought before
Yeah.
and Athena won. This is
Yeah.
the rematch. Athena's beat the record by a bit now. Like, why not? And Athena would be a really nice addition to the AEW women's roster. And then finally, World's End. We have the semifinals and finals of the Continental Classic. They keep on mentioning, like, are they going to have the losers of the semifinals wrestle? So is it 4 Continental Classic matches?
I don't think so.
I feel like they've mentioned that. I don't know. And then obviously Takeshita versus Hobbs for the International Championship. The Tijuana Street Fight for the Women's World Championship between Mariah May and Thunder Rosa. MJF Adam Cole for that ring. And then the 4-way, which I don't know. I'm not like super stoked about World's End right now. Maybe it's because we don't really like it's a good thing that we don't have the finals pinpointed down. So we have that to still look forward to. Obviously Takeshita Hobbs will be good. I'm looking forward to like the in-ring work of the 4-way, but I think I'll probably just walk away more annoyed. But who knows? What are you guys feeling about World's End?
Yeah, not the greatest feeling about it.
Yeah.
I just want Hangman to win that belt.
Yeah. Like,
I'm wondering how they could do this 2 years in a row.
yeah, and there's no Samoa Joe to at least be like, Joe won, let's go.
Yeah.
So
God, I miss him.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a cool debut. Make it fun. Maybe Mustafa Ali.
Maybe Mike Bailey.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd be cool with that. We could have Shane McMahon.
Finally took him Shane McMahon. No. So it's like the Death Riders, like they all interfere in the 4-way match. So it's basically like all of the Death Riders versus Hangman, Orange Cassidy, and Jay White. Obviously, they lose, and then they're all getting beat down. And then the Young Bucks come out to save the day, but they're not enough. And you know who equalizes? Everyone's going, Kenny, Kenny, Kenny. And then here comes the Monday.
Show me the money.
Oh, and then Shane O'Mac comes out.
Ah. Man, I think out of everything, I'd want a Kenny Omega return at World's End. Actually, I think that would make me it all worth it for me.
I don't expect that to happen, but it would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at that that Dynasty card in January. Man. Did you see Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet?
What?
Did that already happen, or is
No, it's in January. Yeah.
What the fuck?
it's the Wrestle Dynasty main event, isn't it?
Is it the main event? Oh,
I imagine so. They haven't announced a AEW World Championship match, so I would imagine
the NW
or-
IWGP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
All right. You want to look at the Wrestle Dynasty?
Let's look at this card.
Let's look at the Wrestle Dynasty card.
I'm ordering it regardless. So I did see a thing where the Young Bucks showed up and called out Kenny and Kota Ibushi too.
Yeah.
Just today I was reading that.
Okay, so we have David Finlay versus Brody King, Shota Umino versus Claudio Castagnoli, Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd, Yota Tsuji versus Jack Perry, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet. I guess that's not for the title. Okay. NJPW Strong Women's Championship match: Mercedes Moné versus Mina Shirakawa. That is actually
what?
Yeah. So that was just
what?
That was just announced. It's a double match, so it's for Mina's British title and only Moné's Strong Women's Championship match. So maybe Moné will lose. So then it's the IWGP Tag Team Championship match: Great O'Khan and TBD versus the Young Bucks. So maybe that'll be another big name. And then it's the International Women's Cup match: Willow versus Athena versus Persephone from CMLL. And then Stardom has not picked their pick yet. And then it's Never Openweight Championship match. It's Shingo Takagi versus Takeshita or Tomohiro Ishii, whoever wins their match. But I think that match that they're talking about is for the international title. So I think it's probably Takeshita's going to go in there. And then I think it's title for title. So are they doing Belt Collector Takeshita?
Ooh.
Because I think Don Callis said something like that in one random backstage promo that was on Twitter that everybody missed. But I think he was like, we're going to have, I might be wrong, but I was pretty sure he was saying we're going to have Belt Collector Takeshita.
Nice.
So,
damn. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that sounds like a really great card.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, everyone out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you're thinking. We appreciate your support. If there's anything else we need to add, you got anything, gentlemen?
I got nothing.
Okay. Well, good show, gentlemen. And we'll have our Holiday Bash Dynamite review up after this. And I think I'll go ahead and do the thing.
Yeah.
Do that thing.
All right, everyone. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.